Welcome to Project 308. My name is Trottier. Right there. That's my 1978 Ferrari 308 GTS that I'm restoring for you in front of your eyes. So, if you've ever had an interest and you want to see kind of how it's done by somebody who kind of knows what they're doing, but not necessarily so, stick around. Alright, so these are the driver and the passenger side door jamb guards. The driver side has 2 switches, the passenger side has 1 switch in it. If we look at this switch here, we can see that is the electrical connector right there. It's not working so well, but it's still solid. However, on the driver's side, both of them are broken. I've ordered 3 of these to replace these. Apparently Porsche, of all things, has these switches, which are a lot cheaper than the new old stock Ferrari ones. So I've ordered a pair of them. When they come in, we'll try this. But look at here, like something's happened here. Look at the jagged edge here. And the clean cut part there on the passenger side. However, the driver's side has been hacked away. I have no idea why. Try and clean those up right now, I guess, and see what we can do with them.
So if this is your first time here, I welcome you. You can go to my playlist, but basically, I bought this car a few years ago. It was a glorified parts car, and I have been rebuilding it since then, and it never seems to end.
Oh boy, I'm freezing our butts off today. All the heaters are down. It's approximately minus 10 degrees Celsius, which I think is somewhere around 14 degrees Fahrenheit. It's pretty chilly in here today. Welcome to Canada in the middle of winter.
So the magic of being able to fast forward through the video is you don't have to put up with all the boring shit. Like the perpetual cleaning that I have to do non-stop.
Well, of course, I have another problem. We're going to head over to the passenger side of the car, and we can see that there is a mounting point there for it, and a mounting point down there for that side. Heading over to the driver's side, I have 1 mounting point, but down there I have 0 mounting points. I don't even know what I'm going to do about that.
But while I think about that, let's take a look at my new switches. So these switches are from a Porsche. I'm going to admit it right now, they're not a Ferrari part. If I were going for concours points, this would be a problem, but, you know, I just really need them to work, and I'm not really that concerned about concours points. Now, while they were almost a drop-in fit, I did have to open up the holes about 2 or 3 millimeters to get them in without really kind of forcing them in. But you know what? I'm happy. So what to do about the missing mount on the driver's side? There is absolutely no way I'm going to be able to repair or fabricate a piece at the bottom there without removing the door. And you know what? I'm just not prepared to do that. I will at some point have to take this door off, and when I do, I will make something permanent. For now, I'm using two-way tape, and you know what? It works surprisingly well.
I hope I ordered the right one. There's so many choices. Oh, look at this mess. This is a good part. Not much better.
This vent goes underneath the radio, and it is for the air conditioning that I don't actually have. But before you go there, no, I'm not going to live without air conditioning forever. I will at some point purchase and install an aftermarket air conditioning system. No, not the original Ferrari one, because that's R12, a long discontinued refrigerant. That would have been R12, which was subsequently replaced with R134A. The latest refrigerant is R1234YF, and we'll see if a kit becomes available. I'm gonna put a pin in that for a couple years.
It's like these things were almost underwater. Like, how does it get so dirty?
Now my compressed air is actually pretty handy, but sometimes it screws things up, and I've managed to knock out one of the fins. So let's take this little vent apart and put it back together.
This one's not engaged properly. Why is it not
Ah, there we go. Flip it in the right direction, and it pops right in. While I don't have air conditioning right now, and this vent will be completely useless for the time being, at least it's there, it's in the car, waiting for the air conditioning. Because you know what? Damn it, I like the parts on the car, because at least I know where they are.
Alright, so if you take a look at the windshield moldings, this is the glass exterior that surrounds the window. You can see that they're covered in urethane. Essentially what that means is that the molding clips, the clips that are on the car, are not holding. And whoever was looking at this before tried to glue them down with this urethane. Take a good close look at this new clip. You can see these little tangs right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're bent in, and they're what grab the molding. If we go look at the car, for example, if we look at that one right there, you can see that the tangs are both broken on either side. That one's okay, and that one is broken as well. And that one over there is broken. Make our way over here. Broken. Okay, this one's got tape on it, but I bought new clips because I'm going to change them all. Now at other points in the car, I simply drilled out the rivets in the car. They weren't as critical as this one, and where I was drilling out the rivets before, they weren't blind rivets, so what that means is I could get to the bottom of it, worst case scenario, and put a little washer on it. So I wouldn't say I was careless with them, but I wasn't as diligent as I need to be right now. Because I don't have access to the underside, I need to make sure that I hit those perfectly. And for that, I have purchased a tool, a rivet drill out tool, so that I get them and just get the head off without making a mess. Because I need these new clips to go on, and I need them to rivet in very nicely and snug right up. So we're going to use this tool here. Let me show you how it works. Alright, that goes there like so. That's adjustable. Obviously that turns, and that allows you to adjust how deep you want to penetrate into the rivet. So you just want to take the head of the rivet off. This here just allows just enough that you take the head off. Want to get deeper, obviously turn that in, and it goes deeper. And that, you attach a drill there. Anyway, you go different size drill bits, different size heads that go with these drill bits. But this here is the 1/8 in there right now, which is what I'm about to use right now.
I set up one of my auxiliary cameras to capture the moment, but I had it in hyperlapse. So I can't really control how fast it's going or how much of the motion blur is there. But it is what it is.
While I've got your attention, this is my fuse panel cover, that one right down there. Now, it's never been on this car. It came with the car, and I don't really know exactly how it is supposed to fasten to the car. If any of you can spare a moment and send me a couple pictures of how that attaches, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Well, these hinges have definitely been gouged out and rounded and butchered. Take a look. Both sides have been rounded. The standard size washer is going to be too small. I've got these bigger 8mm washers that I'm going to be forced to use. Yuck. Go without gloves. Oh, this is a very fine aluminium. You don't really.
Okay.
Okay, so you see right here, hinge. You've got 3 bolts, or excuse me, 3 nuts, 3 washers. You've got a 13mm ratchet.
Yep.
So we're going to grab the hood. We're going to go like this,
Okay.
and I'm going to hold this hand. You're going to hold the shoulder like this. You can lean on the car as long as you're leaning on the plastic.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to lift this up, and then you're going to start.
These, so not on this side?
Sure, not in the water. Okay?
Everyone welcome Nick. He's our apprentice, and he's actually doing really well as a young technician. And I kind of think he wants to be in my video, but he's kind of shy. But here he is. and he's given me a hand. Thanks, Nick, for taking such good care of my car and making sure you don't scratch it when you walk by it, because that would be like certain death, I think.
You do one?
Yeah.
And then you can do one. Okay. All right, so every time I tighten this driver's side hinge down, it binds. It's causing the hood to not drop down properly. So if I loosen it, it frees itself up if I drop it. So I'm gonna have to try and figure out what's not sitting properly in that hinge system, because I don't want to force it, because I know if I force it, I'm gonna break the paint on the hood, something. So I'm just gonna leave it be for a bit, come back at it when I'm fresh.
Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. Let's play Fetch the Camera, shall we? And shall we try this again? Aha! There's my problem.
Alright, so from my video, I now know that that bolt right there is touching right there. Focus on that. There we go. So, bolt is coming down and touching there. So from a video way back, I'll link to it on the screen here, I had to rebuild the front lower rad support. I'm wondering if that's giving me a little bit of an issue. Maybe it's just a touch too high, maybe I can just kind of modify little things, but distance from here to here, by all means scientific. It looks to be about, front of that bracket to there, looks to be about 31 millimeters. This is the driver's side. The distance to the front of that bracket is 25 millimeters. Yeah, okay, if you look down here, and let's see if I can focus down there. When you look down there, you can see that there's a weld right there. That's been re-welded. This has been re-welded at some point. So this little structure right through here is where my problem is. So this further supports my theory that this car has had a poke in the front left. I've mentioned this a few times, and everything seems to point to the fact that I don't think it's had a bad accident, but it definitely had a little bit of a push here. And their fix for things was just to elongate holes. Body work is really an art form. You know, for my career, it's just, you know, figure stuff out, which is a big part of it, but a lot of it is just parts replacement. This here is, you know, spend the time and get it right and have a perfect product, or don't spend the time and have to Mickey Mouse it, and that's definitely what somebody has done at some point, is Mickey Mouse that kind of corner. Alright, so I've been really working at lowering the rad and just kind of correcting all that area. Seems to work. Now I'm going to put the rad bolts back in and see if it tightens up okay. So I've managed to take these shims out that were in there before. Alright, on to the next problem. I closed these both before I actually closed the hood because I was like, what if they don't open? And then I can't get in there. And good thing this driver's side latch is not releasing. Easier to check it now. Alright, when the cable is pulled, this has to swing back. It's just not pulling back enough. Yeah, they're close, but they need a bit more adjustment. Side to side is where my issue is, because I don't believe the pin is dropping down perfectly in between the two of them. For once, an adjustment that wasn't actually that hard. That went pretty easy. Anyways, if you look here, you're going to see this bench is full of tools again, and those aren't tools for Project 308, those are tools to fix cars. Unfortunately, I had to let a staff member go, and I hate doing that. God, I hate doing that, but you know, when their work isn't up to par, you just gotta move on. It's a tough racket right now. The world, approximately for every 5 technicians retiring, only one is entering, and you know, when Terry retired on me, that was a pretty big setback, and I have not been able to find a replacement of his caliber. Terry left a pretty big hole in my world for as far as skill set goes, and can't seem to find somebody who can work at the same level as he did, so puts me back out there again, and Project 308 back on the back burner temporarily. Anyways, thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing and commenting and all that stuff. Project 308 next video, probably another month at the rate I'm going, but I'm going. Thanks. Have a good one.